What's up? How you guys doing, party people? Digging the Django.
Now you're
Day job.
What?
Keep your day job.
That's what I'm saying. Well, look here. Back in the day,
So you gonna feed?
I used to
into
make them holler
foolishness.
for $1. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? This is your boy, Deacon the Django, and we are back again with another episode of The Devil's Advocates. And I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Boy, look who we got in the studio, Nikhil. This beauty. Look who we got in the studio. We don't see him but once every blue moon.
Don't start. Don't start.
Every time we hungry, how you doing? And he's here today. And it seems like summer just don't want to go away, does it? It's just like, it's September. Normally, back home, it's like in the 70s. And
Summer is
Summer-
like a nasty
summer's-
Virgo. You know, they rude and disrespectful and stand their ground.
like the flies and mosquitoes. Now.
Yeah.
Just rude and disrespectful in all sorts of ways. But hello, everybody. How y'all doing today? We are here in the studios. And see, this is what I'm saying. This is what get black folk cursed out when they call me when they know I'm on the radio show. See, it's not like just gonna bring this to a head.
So there's this button on your phone called silence.
Yes.
You know.
And then why they call? They know at 11 o'clock I'm on the radio.
That's why they're calling you. They want to make sure that
Man, they
you
don't get
know.
with that foolishness, with that nonsense. But anyway, I want to take the time out today to shout out to my two co-hosts who are finally, we all family, back in here again.
Reunited.
Dave's stealing the fan from us, so he gonna make us
so
sweat.
good.
Don't have to talk bad about him. He just yanked the fan from us, so okay, I guess it is what it is. And they gonna put it on him, and he's selfish. Look at this.
Well, he has it spinning. He has it rotating. So
All right, I'm gonna make him angry. He's gonna be sweating in a minute.
he about to press that button like it just stop. Pop.
Yep.
Nobody gets in the air.
Look at G said it is disrespectful. So today, let me go and get with further ado. Let me get to my co-host here. We've got our illustrious young lady. Hopefully, we're gonna do some cocktails tonight or something. aren't
We
gonna
are
do some
doing cocktails.
tonight?
We're doing cocktails tonight. 9
Okay.
p.m. 9 p.m.
All right.
Just Miss Black Beauty. How you doing today?
I am
darling?
doing well. I'm doing well. How are you guys
All
doing?
right then. That's what
Good,
I'm talking
I'm
about.
good,
they're
I'm
just
good.
And of course, over there, the head is shiny. Of course. Our attorney on staff. You up here, you gotta be doing something there. Oh Lord, a Cowboys fan just said hey there. But anyway,
How about them Cowboys?
them girls, yeah.
Girl-
Girls. I don't see. Okay, you know what?
They won. They beat who? First week.
Okay, now you know what? You being real disrespectful, bro.
Hey,
Real disrespectful.
by stating the fact.
Okay, well, the fact is you're not going nowhere this year. How about that? Now that's what it is. Get ready for that couch.
Yeah.
We gonna go. They got the blue bigger. And see, you made a fatal mistake. Y'all started sassing Steelers fans this week.
Yeah,
Because
that
the
was
Steelers
real
got
ugly.
beat. And oh Lord, the clapback is gonna be epic on social media.
Oh my
The
goodness.
clapback is going to be epic.
That's all right. We're gonna make it to the playoffs though. I don't think the Giants are gonna get there. So I don't.
You want what I'm drinking because you need
But
to get,
I mean,
yeah, okay.
so you guys
Some
are
air.
going to the playoffs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well,
Did we go last year?
Hey, speak it into existence. I'm
okay. well,
speaking
we
into
just-
existence.
Did the
Okay.
Giants make the?
Oh, so you want to sass my Giants now,
No,
bro?
I'm just
Oh, okay.
asking a question that we all know the
Yeah,
answer
we're going to
to.
have to talk about your membership with Devil's Advocate. Don't talk about the New York Browns, okay? I mean Giants, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so I know my team is sucking right now, but we gonna try to do something. But look, my boy said we'll be back.
You'll be back.
Man, he said they're gonna be back at the house doing the play. Thank you. That's exactly where they're gonna be. But anywho, of course, Mr. Theodis Thompson, Mr. Incredible Gold. How you doing there today?
I'm doing good, sir. Good to be home as always. How's everybody been?
Hungry. Hungry. No.
Hold on.
Django was supposed to be bringing us chicken sandwiches this week. We ain't
From
seen
where?
no chicken.
Well, we supposed to do the challenge.
Were you gonna
Chicken,
have
but
it-
But then Popeye did the black thing, took the chicken sandwiches.
But
I haven't had it yet. Have you
didn't
had
even-
one?
I don't give a damn.
It's
about
not
that sandwich.
good. To me,
not
it
good?
wasn't good. I wasn't impressed.
Well,
Okay, all right.
Chick-fil-A though, you know.
I love Chick-fil-A sandwiches.
That's the chicken of Jesus.
Chick-fil-A so convenient. You just do your little app and you just
They be
roll
just
up.
like in love.
When I roll up, they see the silver sedan. They say, "Are you Miss Bolden?"
And they say, have you,
They
and
do that now. I don't have the app,
They
so
do
they-
that. They do that. You
need
go
to
to look.
download the
You
app.
go to
I ain't
Chick-fil-A.
had
They greet you. They ask you how your day.
Yes.
Have you been saved, Miss Nikki?
They don't say
Well,
that.
if you accepted Jesus as your personal.
They don't say
Lord.
that, but however, when I place an order
Uh-huh.
on the app, when I pull up, it's already paid for,
Mm-hmm.
everything. Is everything okay? Would you like to add anything
Mm-hmm.
or take away from your order? Are you
Oh.
having a great day today?
Right.
Chick-fil-A is all about
boy
the
Enrico's
service.
on
I
here.
love it.
Man.
Ricky G said, "Yeah, see, this is black stuff I'm talking about
So-
right here. We talk.
so-
Popeyes, you got to bring your own bun now.
No,
That's
no.
what I was trying to get
Got to
to.
do rent a spoon. Rent a spoon. Remember that? You got to give them the food for you. Rent them spoon.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so what's the deal with the bun? I
don't
saw that
know.
online, and I was like, this got to be a joke. I'm not even reading it.
That's what they said. You got to bring your own bun now.
You got to bring your own bun. Where?
They put the chicken in your hand, like you Pookie the crackhead. Can I get
Is it-
one rib?
just
And then you.
Blank the cup. Just pour it in
Well,
the
then get the
hand.
point. Well,
Yeah.
Can I get one for $1?
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's that black stuff. See, that's the stuff. See, okay, that's what I was talking about last week. And of course,
Why does that have to be black stuff? Because,
Because you know
because
that's some black stuff.
Popeyes has many owners. They're franchise.
Man, did you see that thing? Like I said, you want to go in there and Popeyes, you want to FX stuff. You black folk already begging for stuff, throwing the sauces at you and stuff. Yeah, that's what stuff black folks do. See, I can't cook. 'Cause we on
First of all,
Christian
I'm not waiting in line for 30 minutes for a chicken sandwich.
radio.
That's
chicken
number one.
sandwich.
No, I'm
That's
not
a
going
good
to do
chicken
it.
sandwich.
I don't care. I'm not doing it.
Okay,
That's just not in my day.
it's not in your day.
No. I value my time.
You got time for that?
No, I have absolutely no time for that.
Okay, you got no
Just
time for
you send somebody up there to get it.
You send
You
somebody.
send somebody.
Okay.
You send
that.
somebody.
Okay, Dave. You know what? You ain't even gonna do that today, bruh.
What Dave
You said
say?
He just threw somebody's name out there again.
You
Why
know
you
what?
go
What did
say
he
it in the
say?
mic,
What did he
Dave?
say?
Go
You
say it in the
remember I
mic. Yeah, he
told you
did that.
Dave was showing
Dave is
out.
dirty,
Dave,
man.
Dave
Dave
you,
is a dirty
you already
dog.
inching up to a 10.
He
Dave,
done
what
went
did I
Dave.
put
tell
the
you?
name out there. You,
They,
Dave.
Dave
So,
really
so Dave,
don't-
you
what-
feeling
what
the same
name did
type
you
of
throw
way?
out there?
What?
What
I
did
just
you say?
said don't go to the waffle place you know,
that's-
that
you was a
serves
dirty-
chicken.
You was a
that takes an hour
Dave, I need you
to
to log
get-
off the internet, bro.
because
Dave,
know,
We
it's-
ready to shut down all
Move
I just
on.
want everyone to know that
I'm-
Dave is being petty today.
I'm just
Petty.
saying, if especially don't go if you're hungry. Because man, I thought I was going to waste away that day. I think I lost 5 pounds just standing in line.
I'm not gonna comment.
And then when the security ran me out, I had lost about another 5 pounds running from security guards.
But Otis,
this place that you speak of is great.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When's the last time you had to stand in line for some chicken?
it's the chicken. Black folks said, see, that's why the stereotypes fly right there.
That ain't no,
Well,
that ain't no stereotype.
I'm
That's
just
a
black folks,
fact.
but we love our chicken, though, don't we?
Dave.
Black folks like
So,
fried chicken and watermelon.
Yeah, we should challenge Dave to go back to that
Nah,
restaurant.
can't do
Look,
it.
look.
Can't do it.
Dave,
Nah,
Dave. When
nah,
they, you, what,
no,
what,
I'm
what did
scared.
Michelle say?
Michelle who?
Oh,
How many Michelles do you know?
I know a lot of
You know a lot of
Michelles.
why do you know
Michelle,
a lot of Michelles?
Michelle was a popular name when I was growing up.
Really?
Well, I know.
And did y'all see his face?
I knew another.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway,
So, Dave,
Mm-hmm.
so we can't challenge you to go back and give that restaurant a second chance to just make sure that, to ensure that maybe that was just a bad day for her. Can
Or-
we do
or
that?
him.
For
You know-
him. Yeah, for him
or
or her.
them.
Or them.
it's kind of like you dated this woman, and
Oh,
and
Lord.
you
I hope not.
and it didn't go right. You
Right.
really liked her, and you like, man,
What's up,
that
Al?
can't really be that. No, that wasn't the girl I knew.
Right.
Then you give that second chance, and it was a girl you knew.
Yeah.
I'm scared. I just don't. I had those experiences when I was a young cat out there in the street with those
this
kind of
is
women.
not like
I just
dating
I'm
a woman.
scared.
This is a restaurant.
I'm scared.
It's not the same. Go back. One more chance. And then
me
if
one more
you go back that second time and you
One
have
more
a
chance.
similar or same experience,
I'm scared.
Don't be
Don't be
scared.
scared.
Don't be scared.
Don't be
Will y'all go with me?
Yeah, I
Deacon
go with
Django.
you.
Will y'all
I
go
with
with
you.
me?
Yeah.
So I can chop Otis'
So wait a minute.
guard in
Why
there.
did you volunteer here to go? I mean, you know what? And that's a good thing.
Mildred.
Maybe if a woman goes
Yeah.
with me, maybe
Yeah.
she'll look
Nakia.
at me differently.
Nakia.
You know.
Look, I'll go to.
And I won't go. I'll go
just gonna
after
call
I've
the Waffle
already
Place, 'cause I'm not gonna
eaten,
be- yeah.
so I won't have that hungry look on my face.
Okay,
Right.
so when do you guys propose that we go?
Wait.
What y'all doing on this day in 2021?
No,
See
no
what I'm saying?
day, no
That
day.
Petty as
Day.
hell. What?
Day.
What is
Huh?
petty?
What?
So you already inching up to a 10.
I'm sorry.
You almost said a
Didn't
10.
even start nothing with him.
No.
He
I'm
already
sorry.
on
No.
time.
I was just talking about eating.
Coming out the gate.
I was just talking about eating.
Okay, so Dave, let's set a date to go, and you give it another chance. We'll go with you.
Oh,
We're gonna go with you. It's gonna be a
scared.
We
team
are the
effort.
champions
I'm
of the world.
Dave,
We go.
we're going with
gonna
you.
go.
We're
Okay,
going
I
with
tell you what. Okay.
Theo
okay,
has
okay,
had a
okay.
great
We go.
experience.
Give one more.
Absolutely. Great
Give me one more
experience.
chance.
Great
Good for you.
chicken,
Give
great
me
service.
one more
Speak
chance.
highly of this restaurant.
When was this?
Recent.
Recent?
We gonna try
Yes,
to do it.
recent.
The Dickens, you say?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
We're gonna do
set
this.
the date, Dave.
All right, let me check my calendar because if it's not full, it will be.
Dave.
You can't do that with him. He has no behavior.
Now hold
No
on.
behavior.
That
Okay,
was
okay.
super petty.
On my radio show.
It doesn't even make sense.
Man.
The pettiness is out
No
of control.
Okay.
behavior.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to.
I thought Stanley was bad. You have no behavior.
I'm trying to turn over a new leaf.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, sure.
You know, it's gonna take a couple of years, but I'm working on it.
And just like that, the lies are being told.
I'm just sorry.
Dang.
I'm sorry.
So-
We'll work with you, Dave.
Okay, y'all just stick with me, okay? I'm going through a tough time,
Dave,
but if y'all will just stick with me, I think I can make it.
Dave,
Make
you
it.
could even offer some of your rub.
See, here's the thing with my
Well,
rub.
maybe
Oh, here we go. Here we
Okay.
go.
Offer your nuts. I mean, your.
I'm
that's the name of the stuff. Why you hating on
Go
me
to the
for?
go to the corner.
I get self-conscious about offering my product to other businesses that don't have a certain standard.
Oh Lord.
Oh.
I'm just saying
What is
Because-
the topic for today?
because
what is the topic for today?
And you
Because
see
it-
how
it's
Theo
a-
keeps
yeah,
us on
it's-
track.
it's a
Let's
bad.
Let's keep it moving.
It's a bad example.
Talking
So
about the waffle
it's kind of like this.
This-
When I sell advertising for this station, let me just put it this way. When I sell advertising for this station, I don't offer advertising to everybody.
Right. Right.
I'm just saying. It's like
Yeah, you
you know
can't
when I
offer
sell
advertising
when
to
I
everybody,
if
that's
I have
for sure.
offered you advertising for Little Rock Central Broadcast, that means I respect you
Right.
and your business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if I don't want people going to businesses that I've recommended
Right.
and then they have a bad experience. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
I understand.
That's all.
Okay.
So you didn't offer advertising to the goat either, right?
The who?
The goat.
Oh Lord. Now you starting
I'm
today about
sorry.
my
Okay,
goat.
see,
He-
Dave
You know what?
been rubbing
That
off on me.
He gets a lot of free plugs anyway.
Okay,
Pun intended.
You know what?
I'm sorry.
Because
I
I'm
didn't
feeling a
mean
lot of heat right now coming from these microphones.
I'm sorry.
There's going to be some
I'm sorry.
repercussions
I'm sorry.
about my goat.
the furniture
I'm
gonna
sorry.
move.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You're gonna be seeing the Facebook feed
I
show
got-
in a
That
minute.
was a song.
I gotta
feel the
ask.
urge.
I gotta
We're gonna
ask
try
off the
to-
air who the goat is. So I gotta ask off the air because I don't want to know the answer on the air.
You sure don't.
I don't want to know the answer on the air.
Okay, we go.
As long as okay.
All
All
right,
right.
we go try
Moving,
to get
moving on.
today. Moving on,
Yes.
man.
Keep on
Man, we gonna move on. Okay, today's topic we gonna talk about is how soon we forget.
How soon we forget?
How
Yes.
soon we forget. Remember that Colonel
quick.
Williams?
I never forget bad
You never
service.
forget bad stuff.
Bad service. I just never forget.
Just gets
that.
in your mental. It just stay there.
It
Huh? Okay.
kind of sticks with me.
What's up, sister soldier? She up
You know,
on my feed
I'm
today.
trying to get
so-
you my money.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, I want to appreciate
Yeah,
you.
see, here you go. Already.
You know.
They just see.
So,
And he
just
got
saying.
his Midnight Soul video voice on.
Yeah, the motherland
Yes.
massage room. So we
Donnie
want to-
Simpson.
Yes, yes. he's
You know
doing
what?
the
Y'all not
Donnie
gonna do it
Simpson.
to me today,
He's
okay?
doing the
You-
Donnie Simpson today.
You're not gonna do it to me today.
I think it's when we
Is he
talked
still
about
alive?
when I said Machete.
Yeah, he's still
Donnie,
alive.
okay, all right. I always
I
like
know
to put
that
people
asked
in
me
the,
about 10 minutes
in the
ago.
grave.
We had the word. Listen to him talk about the chicken place.
I think
and
when
the
we said
Waffle.
Michelle, that kind of got Dave, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It worked.
We're gonna talk about that.
Boy, I knew a girl named Michelle in college.
See, look at you. Look at you. You know it hit a
know
nerve
what,
when you
Dave?
look up.
When you look up.
When you look up.
That boy-
He's gonna say, I knew a girl in
She-
Michelle.
Yeah, he did.
In
Such
college, he did this. He did this.
They gave up.
He
A whole
looked
lot
up.
of
Look at
40
the smile.
He gave up a whole lot of $40. Anyway, let me just go ahead.
Hey, Dave, you sweating?
I know it's hot in here.
Yeah, he
You started sweating, man.
From us and stuff, but anyway.
You still talk to Michelle?
So,
You know what? Me and Michelle talked again about a month ago. She touched base with me on,
Twinkle
on
them
Facebook.
toes,
She
On
touched.
Made them toes curl just like this.
Hey, girl.
She,
Hey, big head, how you doing?
she touched.
Okay.
She touched your soul.
Candyland.
She made you see things that you couldn't
I
see
wish
before.
you guys could see Dave's face. Look.
We're gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
Look.
You think it's spiritual? Okay, we're gonna try this again today.
Okay.
Today's topic is what the hell ever it want to be, it look like. But today's topic is how soon we forget.
How soon we forget.
How soon we forget. But don't y'all remember about? Let me get my phone straight here for just a second. 18 years ago, we had a tragedy that struck this country in the midst of 9/11. And for those of you guys that remember, hey classmate, how you doing?
19,
Yep. Well, no, it was
18, 19.
no, it was 2001, September 11th. 2000. Where you in a cave, bro? Okay.
I thought I was.
Okay, so that happened, and of course, it was a great tragedy for this country. I lost a cousin in the towers that was there, and you know, a lot of people lost family members and lives, and it was terrible. And of course, you know, the great response to how we did is we botched up the whole thing for it, but the world was on our side 18 years ago, and we ended up with Donald Trump in response.
Yes, we did.
So my thing about it is when we talk about this, and you know, everybody says never forget, and you know, that becomes a kind of a catchy catchphrase. No, never forget. So my thing is, I always tell people, don't forget, black folks, when we sit around here and we talk about this, and that's not to minimize people that lost family in this tragedy.
Of course not.
To minimize it at all. Don't forget that we haven't forgotten our history in this country.
Right.
400 years of it. Like Dave said, this is what, 400 years to the date of the first slave arriving on the shores of this country. Okay. So, you know, it's really funny to me when I see things that go on where, you know, people, you know, you get on Facebook and people always saying, but y'all always living in the past. And, you know, this is a new day, and why people want to sit up and still talk. And, you know, the saddest part about it is I hear it from black folks. The raccoons. You know, the raccoon segment is all spread out through social media. So we hear this. And, you know, I just forget that sometimes I think black people, sometimes we try to assimilate in so much, we forget our history. And you always have to remember your history, because if you don't remember your history, you're going to be doomed to repeat it.
Right.
Okay. So what we need to understand is that, you know, right, we don't ever want to forget events like 9/11 or even what happened to the World Trade Center. Well, I was in New York.
The
when that
Oklahoma
happened.
City bombing.
Oklahoma City bombing. The shootings in El Paso. The shootings in...
When was the last time you heard about the Oklahoma City
It's been
bombing?
years.
Thank you.
It's been years.
Why is that? Why do you think that is?
Because it was Timothy McVeigh,
Who is Timothy McVeigh?
a white man.
What did he do?
He was a colonizer. Yeah. That's what he was.
You know why we don't hear about that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
I just thought I'd
right.
throw
You know,
that
they
in there.
here killed him and got it on out the way. Or is he really dead? Is he not hiding out on Area 51 somewhere? And anyway,
You know what?
I'm just saying. I mean, you know, that's when the conspiracies go around. When something happens. You know, so let's talk about this in this fashion. Because I didn't see hardly this much from any white folks. Like I saw it when it happened in France, when it happened in Australia, well, New Zealand. What happened to Pray for Bahamas? What happened to that?
There's not gonna be like pray for the Bahamas, because the Bahamas is
Well, no, don't try to
Don't-
mince words with it.
no.
Just go and say it. What? It's an island full of what?
black people.
Black people, yeah.
Yeah, darkies. That's what it's full of. Darkies.
That the majority of people in America use as a source of enjoyment.
Right.
It's not a part of our everyday activity. It doesn't affect us on our natural way of living. We go there. Some people that can afford to go there when we have the means to do it. So we don't even think of it. And two, as you can see with our 400 years of having the first slave come here, is dealing with a group of people that are minorities.
Right.
When you're dealing with a group of minorities, we always take the back seat
Right.
to other issues that people want to put on mainstream. For example, what happened in El Paso, Texas? What happened to New York? The coming down of the Twin Towers. Majority of those individuals that were affected, it affected our country. It affected how we go forward. But we want to put an emphasis on those because it dealt with the majority of people here that are of Caucasian.
Right.
If you're dealing with issues that affect the minority class or a group of people that are minorities, I don't care how many people suffer.
Right.
It's gonna make the headlines, but the next day there could be, and Lord forbid it doesn't happen, it could be something tragic that happens that's not on the same scale, but it would take headline from that horrific incident, and it would take it on for days, weeks, months.
Right.
Right.
Right. But part of the problem with the thing that happened in the Bahamas is the response even that we got from 45. 45's response was...
But did you know you didn't expect anything different from that guy?
I didn't expect...
What did John Layden's wife call him?
Oh, my God. I love her.
You love her?
Because she's not afraid to say it. She has zero to give. But his response was terrible, and he's always trying to say that basically brown people are bad.
Basically, no, he's saying brown people are bad.
Well, yes. We don't know what type of people they are. They haven't been vetted.
They are displaced people.
They're drug dealers and criminals. And
get out of here.
You're a criminal.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was a response for his base.
Right.
Because see, when you're going around here demonizing folks, you can't demonize Mexicans and Hispanics and then not demonize them darkies.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You got to stay on script. Well, we got to see what they have.
It's not even staying on script for him. That's just really how he feels. It's not a script. That is really truly.
But let's just say that this imbecile is correct, and we know that he's not. Does a person that deals with selling drugs or has criminal history, does their history preclude them from receiving services or support from after going through some type of natural disaster?
That's it. Who they because they were a criminal or they sold drugs or whatever you want to say, that has absolutely nothing to do with a natural disaster. It has. You should have empathy, sympathy, and compassion for people to want to help people, and that's my issue. When you lack compassion, I think it's something wrong with you.
We don't lack compassion.
He does.
No. Let's get the no.
He does.
No.
You don't think he does?
No.
Oh,
we don't lack compassion. We just lack compassion for people of color.
That's okay.
Let's get that.
No, I'm not gonna even say. I think he lacks compassion. Period.
Well,
because
they say New Yorkers lack compassion. I'm a New Yorker. I don't lack compassion because I'm told. Look.
Why do New Yorkers get that stigma of lacking compassion?
Because New York, by its nature, is a dog-eat-dog city. That's the way it's always been. And people are like, I don't care what happens as long as I'm not suffering. That's just the way.
But man, and I hate to get off point, please don't. But I just find it interesting to see you and others that are from New York, and how your family was able to go to New York. I mean, how did you even how did your family end up in New York? And my family, we stuck down here in the South. I'm like, why the heck did y'all not move?
Right.
Why couldn't you go to Chicago?
Those are the things that
let me tell you something.
Our family had an opportunity to move to Chicago, and my dad passed it up. He said Chicago was too fast. He didn't want his kids growing up in that environment.
Let me tell you.
And I'm putting in my the person I went to law school. Her name is Jocelyn Bell, and her husband is Stephen Bell. And recently, they moved to Chicago. She was practicing here in the state of Arkansas, and he's a pastor in Chicago. And I always look back, even though my mom didn't move, my dad didn't move, I could have had the opportunity to move to Chicago, New York, Atlanta, or whatever, and I didn't because of fear. And I hate to get off point, but since you brought up New York, how did your family and how did you end up in New York?
Let's put it like, okay, my mom and dad moved up to New York in the 60s when black people were moving out of the South because of.
And where did they move from?
My dad was from Memphis. My mom was from Lono.
Deep in the South. How did they choose New York?
I don't know. I didn't know. I never asked them about that. They just like the hell. In 67, they both went to Philander, got the hell up out of here. They like boom. So I was born and raised in New York. We went and stayed in Africa for 2 years where my brother was born.
Really?
And we stayed there. And yo, I mean, like.
Does your brother have dual citizenship?
No.
Okay.
What part of Africa?
He was born in Zambia.
Okay. All right.
Really?
Talking
So I
to
was
Mike,
there.
please.
Huh?
Talking to Mike.
Then talking to Mike.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
We gonna
He's still thinking about Michelle.
That's
Still thinking about Michelle.
Those eyes rolling up. Those eyes rolling
Man, I hope I make somebody eyes flutter like that.
Man,
Wow.
these are details. I knew another girl named Michelle.
Yeah.
Took it to the, and it did so well. Don't.
Anyway, so they was up here, and then my mom, and it's funny how tables turned because a lot of New Yorkers in the late 80s and 90s moved out in New York. Because one, it got too expensive, and New York was really out of control, especially around the Dinkins era. When Dinkins was right before Giuliani, as I call him Giuliani.
Okay.
Came in. A lot of New York. That's why Atlanta has a big base of people down there that are from New York. Atlanta was the mecca to go to. You know, my mom decided when she retired from New York Board of Ed to move back here. So, you know, I've been down here since the 90s, but, you know, I went back and forth. My brother moved back. He's like the hell with Arkansas. He moved back at right before the turn of the decade.
Okay.
But it's not even just
back.
moving to like New York.
New York waited to clean itself up after we left. It's like
Well,
it's
no,
a whole
I'm
different
not-
like looking city.
Well,
now.
no, that's not what I was going to say. My experience is that people that live on the East Coast, as compared to us here in the South, they are way more progressive. They're way more knowledgeable. They are attuned
why
to
that
what's
is.
going on.
We dumb.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say we dumb, but like
Yeah,
even
you
with
dumb.
even with my son, one of my sons is truly a scholar, and I tried to get him move out of the state, son. Go to school on the East Coast.
Right.
You know, you'll see some things you've never seen before. Even when I went to Philander, just meeting the people that were from the East Coast and Upper Midwest. They were just totally different, like mind-blowing their thought process,
It's
everything.
a totally different culture. But you
It's
know
a
why
different-
that is? I'll tell you one word. It's called diversity. It's being around different people, being around different things like me. People couldn't understand why down here I love stuff like West Indian food and why I like
That's
Indian
because
food.
you
Because
had
you
the opportunity
just
to
be
try
around
all
it.
those
Right.
things. Even like when I went to Baltimore, on every corner there's like a different type
Right.
of restaurant.
Right.
Like, wow, you know. So
Now,
you
don't get me wrong. Arkansas's catching up now.
Yeah, we catching
It's
up.
2019.
Look at Dave talking about no.
Dave.
No, okay, look. I said catch. I didn't say y'all
Well,
caught
okay,
up. I said y'all catch
we're on the
slowly.
track. We're
Little
on the
Rock
track.
is-
We're
I
not
ain't
even
gonna
on the
say
track.
Arkansas.
Little Rock is not on track.
Little Rock is still back with Little Rock place.
I mean, we're in the South. I mean,
But I mean,
everything is back.
Okay, wait,
here.
hard day. Come on. So let's get off. Oh, there's a Michelle on my feet. Anyway,
Where's she from? Where's she from?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it really.
Hey, Shell.
hey,
Man.
Anyway, yeah. All right, Dave. You wanted to say something? Go ahead and say it.
No, Little Rock is so backwards, it's pathetic. What I would advise people to do, unfortunately, when I was growing up, and a lot of it had to do because I was in the Boy Scouts, my mom sent me everywhere, and that's what has colored me the way I am today. I mean, I camped in the mountains of New Mexico, Colorado, North Carolina, and quite often I went to camps where I was the only black kid.
Right.
My mom would say, "I'm sending you to these," and I would tell her, "I don't want to be here." She said, "I'm sending you to these places for a purpose, and that is so you can learn about other people."
Right.
You see, and I did my kids the same way. When I went to see my son last year in Hawaii, we didn't eat anything American. Every restaurant we ate at. It was you know, it was Vietnamese. It was Filipino. I mean, it's just diverse. And what I tell people is, it's okay to love Little Rock, but you would do yourself a wonderful favor if you went and lived in just any other city for a year. Just go do it.
Right.
It will expand your horizon so much because once you see how other people live, you begin to understand why our city is not where it is. Yeah. And a lot of my friends now even ask me, man, you're different. You know, no, I'm the same person. I've just evolved.
Right.
And you don't get much evolution. And that's not to criticize anyone who stayed here.
Right.
But you don't get a lot of evolution if you stay in your house. You get that, right? So you have to be able to go out and meet other people. I love meeting other cultures. I was the guy that if we were playing basketball and a white guy walked up, I'd pick the white guy. You know, I would, yeah, I'd pick, I'd be the first person to befriend. Look, in college, I dated a young lady at the height of the Iran crisis.
What was her name?
Her name was Kate. She was from Iran.
Okay.
And I dated her. You know, and you learn a lot of things. She said, you all call it Iran. What did you learn? We call it Persia. Because that's what the original name is.
What?
Persia. You know, and then you realize that.
Oh, I'm sorry. The other P. I'm sorry.
Persia.
I'm sorry. Sorry. I didn't hear. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Persia.
Your Honor, could you have the counsel to clean out his ears?
Yeah, the studio is so hyped today.
But you learn. You really do. You learn from. I didn't mind dating other cultures. I told my son, I said, look, I want you to marry a black woman, but before you marry a black woman, date as many other cultures as you can.
You know, black women funny about that.
Pimp. That's what that's called. That's the international.
I'm just saying, date as many other women as you can, because guess what? Women, when you date women from other cultures, they learn you a lot about their cultures. And to show you how his freshman year in college, a senior liked him. So she was from France. Now, she was a sister. You know, believe it or not, there are plenty of black French women. And look at the French track team. But anyway,
Dave,
so I told him, I said, look, he said, Dad, I don't really know how to get to know her. I said, here's what you do. Okay. I said, I want you to go to a local bookstore and buy a French language book, an interpretation book. All right. When you pick up for the first date, have that book laying on your console open. All right.
Okay, so y'all, this is
so when she gets
101.
When she gets in, the first thing she's going to see is that book, Understanding French, on her console. I'm just saying.
Dang.
The OG, the OG, it worked.
That's player
one. You know what I'm saying? It worked. You see what I'm saying? Give me some. Give me a little of that. It worked like a tongue.
So the game is to be sold, not told.
It worked like a tongue. But no, I'm just saying what it indicated to her is that this man is interested into about her culture and not just her panties.
He was interested in the panties.
Oh, of course he was.
Thank you. Yes.
And she was
By
French.
all means, get the
But-
and she was black.
But I was trying, and she ran track too.
Yeah, she had
that
mad
track.
Ooh, she
flavor.
was healthy.
And
that
French
track.
is a beautiful language. Yeah.
Hold on. What was her name? Oh, wait.
I tell it.
I'm just
let me
saying.
call.
But I'm just saying we have to diversify.
Right.
We have to diversify our minds.
Right.
You know, one of the things that I do when I go on trips, and that's why I miss Anthony Bourdain so badly.
Oh
yeah.
Man.
Because if you listen to him, he said, yeah, he went and ate at some posh restaurants, but a lot of times he was eating at folks' homes.
Right.
You know, he was eating, and he say, if you want to learn about a culture, go to the underbelly of that city.
Wow.
So when I travel, and if I've never been to a city,
Right.
the first thing I ask the hotel person or whatever, where do the people like you
off
eat?
the beaten track.
Right.
Where do you
Off
go
the
to
beaten
eat?
Where do you go?
path.
That's what I did.
Okay.
Where do you go?
And then you'll see their eyes start glowing because they're excited about telling you about their city.
Right.
And you learn so much. I'm telling you, folks, if you doubt me, try it. Next time you go on a vacation, don't stay on the beaten path.
Right.
Ask somebody, where do you go to eat?
Right.
Where do y'all hang out?
Right.
Okay. And they'll say, well, we don't do the touristy stuff. We do this, we do that.
Right.
And you will have a much broader experience in that city that you're visiting. I'm being honest with you.
Right.
So that's what we should do. Little Rock hadn't gotten to that point yet because we still have a lot of natives here who are just content to be here.
Right.
And you can see that with the development of the city as well.
Right.
You have people who we've done it this way all this time. I'm happy with it. Where all the other cities, think about it from this perspective. Little Rock is smack dab in the middle of the country.
Right.
Literally everything that drives has to come through Little Rock.
Right.
I-30 and I-40 are two of the busiest interstates in America, going from one side of the country to the other. Yet there is nothing in Little Rock that stops those people to say, hey, come visit this. Oh, there's Little Rock Central. But other than that, that's it.
Right.
You know,
or
the Clinton Center.
That's it.
You know, that's it. Right. They don't cater to the tourists. You're going to Memphis this weekend. I guarantee you, by the time you get to Fort Smith, you're going to see billboards saying, come to Elvis Presley, come to Bill Street, come to this, come to that. When you drive into Little Rock, there's nothing like that. That's mental. That's economic development that you're letting go.
But
go
that's
through
because
the
people here, their thought processes are so suppressed, and even like our local government is like they just behind in everything. That's even like the River Market. Look how long it took them to get where you can like.
Yeah, and maybe the River Market.
Oh my
goodness!
Right.
I mean, it took decades.
But River Market is limited, though.
Well, I'll tell you somebody else. I've had the pleasure of. I've been in the radio business for a long time. I've had the pleasure of seeing a lot of great artists backstage. You know, from country music to R&B to jazz, you name it. My first start in radio was in jazz, and the one thing that I said when I first moved back here, there was an artist that I heard. His name was Rodney Block.
Right.
Okay.
I love Rodney.
And I told that person that introduced me to him, I said, that boy or that young man, that's New York City talent.
Really?
Right.
I'm serious.
Right.
Rodney Block is New York big city talent. And a lot of people in Little Rock don't get it.
I don't know why.
They don't get it. The boy is big city talent.
We need to get Rodney back up here. I ain't had him in a minute. I got to get him on
every time I see him, his production, his stage presence, all of that.
And then
he's a showman. He's a showman.
He's big city talent.
Yeah.
But even just him, period, the way that he acts when you interact with him, he's so humbled, and you know, you can tell that he feels that his talent is an actual blessing.
Yeah.
It is a gift.
That's big city talent.
Yeah, he's the real deal.
To finish the story quickly, the guy who I said that to, he looked at me and said, "What? Him?" Now, that guy hadn't been around the way I've been around. He spent most of his life here in Little Rock. You know, he said, I just go to see him because I go to see the women. He draws a lot of women. You know, I'm beyond that. I'm going to hear the talent.
You're going to hear the music.
You know, so.
That's Little Rock for you. But anyway.
Yeah.
So.
And why isn't there a jazz club here?
Why
Thank
isn't
you.
there?
That's my point.
We had one at one point.
Well, the afterthought,
No, we even had porters.
We had porters.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great. I thought it was good.
I loved it. I used to go every week.
Nothing flourishes in this city very long. You notice that?
And that's the point, is that people don't understand. Look,
you got to pour into stuff.
Right.
And the people here don't want to pour into.
Well, let me tell you what we do. Let me tell you, because I've been here long enough that I can talk on it now. What people in Little Rock do, and this is why I understand where David is coming from when we talk about the culture and we're talking about the mindset. People love it when it's new here. When it's new here and it's the thing, oh, they love it. But as soon as people get over that, I done been part of the scene type deal, falls right off.
But here's the thing about a jazz club. A jazz club, that music is the one music that's truly intersectional.
Right.
And what I mean by that is that one of my favorite jazz artists is David Sanborn. He's black. I mean, he's a white guy.
Right. I was going to say he's
okay.
white.
He's a white guy.
Yeah.
You see, so when you have jazz, you have white people in that same club. You have black people in that same club. As a matter of fact, when I went to Kansas City a few weeks ago, right there on 18th and Vine where jazz was birthed, they had a Hispanic group in there playing R&B.
Really?
Hello? And if you close your eyes, you think they were black. Okay? That's what diversity...
Turn down the light a little bit, huh?
That's what diversity... and it boggled our minds. It really did. And they would even joke during their set. I bet... And because everybody in the audience was black.
But the thing
and
is,
they were saying,
music is so universal.
That's my point.
It's universal.
That's my point. And they would even joke in their set, I bet y'all have never heard Hispanics jam like this. Have you gringos? Man, they were kicking it, man. So what I'm saying to you is that if we even had to have a jazz club, it's a beacon of diversity.
Right.
It's a beacon that everybody respects everybody, because that flautist that trombonist, that trumpetist, whomever it is, they respect one another's trade.
Right.
We don't have that here. And man, every city I've lived in has that.
Yeah, it has that.
It has that. You've got to have it to be able to create that culture, and you just don't have it here, unfortunately. So you was packing like a minor. You might open a jazz club.
Right. Well, look.
I'll talk to people that know people.
Yeah, I know that's right. I wouldn't open a club if you gave me because you need $1 million to do it right.
Pretty much
down here in Little Rock, but
yeah.
And we're gonna take us a break right quick so we pay. But think about it this way: when we talk about diversity, when we talk about that issue with Bahamas, let's take everything and put it in. We talk about lack of empathy. You were right. These people like to go down there and get on their beaches. Now, when they rebuild Bahamas, what people gonna do? They're gonna go take their big, fat, lazy, useless behind right back there and sit on their clear water beaches and enjoy the thing. But then it's like, oh, why we got to help them?
But what you're forgetting is that what's going to happen is that white folks and capitalists are going to go down and buy up all that property. That's what's about to happen.
That's all I've been thinking.
Yeah, that's about the property. That's what's going to happen.
That's what they do. Incorporate on the misery.
Yep.
Well, we will be back, folks, right here. Stay tuned. Devil's Advocate.
Django, you must face another day. Django, now your love has gone away. Lost you longer.
Whether it's criminal defense, bankruptcy, personal injury, or family law, I want to help you. I can be reached at 501-503-5095. Don't face your legal issues alone. You need an attorney whose primary objective is providing you with the best legal representation. Our office address is 415 North McKinley, Suite 710 in Little Rock. I'm attorney Theodore Thompson, and I want to provide you with the best legal representation. Hi, I'm attorney Theodore Thompson from the Thompson Law Firm, and I want to help with your legal matter. Whether it's criminal defense, bankruptcy, personal injury, or family law, I want to help you. I can be reached at 501-503-5095. Don't face your legal issues alone. You need an attorney whose primary objective is providing you with the best legal representation. Our office address is 415 North McKinley, Suite 710 in Little Rock. I'm attorney Theodore Thompson, and I want to provide you with the best legal representation. Stupid man, you do.
Talking to the front of the mic.
Okay, you don't like the thing near my mouth.
He like the one that like the gangster that like to hold the 9mm. He don't hold it this way. He like, what's up, man? Like you gonna kill more people? What's up, man? Pat.
And miss every shot. You've been watching too many movies.
You've been watching that. Yeah, you have. You wasted the whole clip. Now we coming for you.
Yep. Right. So, anywho. So, like I said, again, we are back to the sins of the father. It is our topic for today. And Michelle.
Michelle.
Yeah. So when we talk.
Can we see a picture of Michelle?
What?
Let me see a picture.
With clothes on. Not.
You don't have no.
You ain't got nothing. He said he don't
back
have.
in the day, that was with clothes on. What generation think I grew up in? That didn't happen.
We believe
there are no pictures.
Nope.
No pictures.
No pictures.
No evidence.
You said that she
reached
reached out to you on Facebook, so I mean, she may have sent you some in your inbox.
No, I don't play that.
You don't play that.
Don't you send me no dirty pictures. I don't want to see your panties. None of that stuff in my inbox. Homie don't play that.
What if they send you a picture of a plate?
A plate of what?
Food.
Well, that's a different story now.
I was supposed to be up here like cooking this for Bay, and I'm like.
Raw chicken.
But that's not going to impress me anyway because I'm a chef. So that's not going to impress me.
She's putting forth an effort.
David, you're an oak.
Dave.
I'm just saying.
Michelle is putting forth an effort.
Well, she needs to put forth an effort in the city that she lives in.
What city is this?
Dallas.
Oh, that's not that far.
That's not that far.
4 hours.
That's like a hop, skip, and jump.
Okay,
You know address?
No.
Not yet.
Didn't ask.
You want me to find it for you?
No.
Okay.
So now
Dave-
he acting
Dave will
funny.
never come back if you go there.
Now he acting
Dave will
funny.
never
We won't
come
see
back.
Dave in
I
2
don't
months.
look. Let me tell y'all something.
Dave will never come back if you go
I don't
there.
backstep, folks. You see what I'm saying? You know, once you've been in that house and you move out the house, you keep moving. That's
You don't want
word,
to come and just
word
fix
to the
the
wise.
plumbing every now and then?
No.
Come make sure the toilets are flushing and the water's running
Nope.
good?
Nope. I
Oil check?
Nope. Nope. None of that. Sorry.
Shock's still good?
No. You move on to bigger and better things.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Right.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Alrighty
Right.
then.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In today's
Boy,
word,
sure
we have received a word
There
today.
you go.
Yes, we
Word
have.
today.
Give
Okay.
you 3 or 4 more if you want. So
Okay, all right. And today on the Devil's Advocate Radio
Yeah,
Show.
that's right. On Devil's Advocate Radio, Motherland, Massage, or Peace to the Power to the people. Anyway, you can always take some rib nuts now. Anyway, so like I was saying,
Golden rib nuts.
them rib nuts, boy.
Boy, y'all
They
a
them
mess.
seasoned nuts. They're good, boy. That's what I heard from me.
they are. I think I might bring some for y'all next week.
You gonna bring us your nuts?
So yeah, I'll bring you some rib nuts.
Nuts.
I think I have some left over from my last.
Oh, and now you gonna bring us some leftover nuts now? Really, Rob?
From a function he
You gonna bring
invited
us
us
some leftover
to.
nuts?
You know,
that
the
some-
functions I attend, I'm there as a vendor, and I'm trying to make money.
Yeah. So when you do
Okay.
with the function, you have leftover nuts.
Yeah, I have leftovers. No, they're packaged. They are.
They're packaged
Yes, they are.
fresh,
They're fresh.
not used or nothing like that.
That's
They're just
correct.
fresh. They fresh nuts.
That's correct.
Okay.
Best kind to have.
Okay, so we haven't really talked about anything.
Boy, y'all a mess, boy.
Oh my goodness, the
Boy,
energy in the studio
Hey, I'm just talking about my product.
Okay.
No, what y'all talking about?
That's your problem. You talking about your product.
Your product.
So what was you talking about when you was over there fluttering your eyes about Michelle?
Michelle, who?
Oh, now how
Oh,
soon we?
Negro, please.
Wasn't that the theme
I mean,
of our?
did-
Wasn't that
did
the theme of
Michelle
our show? How
say
soon we
yours?
forget?
Yes.
He forgot Michelle that fast.
Hey, look, I'm a senior citizen. My mind is fleeting.
Really?
Look, we're gonna sing some Nat King Unforgettable.
Gettable.
There you go. See, that's what I'm talking about. So you're right, and I agree with Dave. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna buy it up. They're gonna buy that land cheap, and they're gonna raise it, and they're gonna see. That's what I'm saying.
It's going to become the bougie resort area.
Well, white people gonna. I mean, Bahamas has a consistent group of millionaires row anyway. Okay, a millionaires row anyway. And this is why I have an issue with it. And the bad part about it was I saw minorities, Hispanic, why they gotta come here? Why did you here, ain't you?
You know that bothers
know,
me.
That's a small segment of a minority class that shouldn't not have a mic. No one should have interviewed them. It's almost like when you go to the hood and you see someone about
That
to
you
take the
know that
mic.
they shouldn't even
Do
be on the
not pay attention to what that person has to
You
say.
see, yeah,
But
man,
that's
I saw
what they
it.
focus on.
You
You're
know.
saying that, but
My
that's
cousin
what
Ray
the
Ray and
focus is
Vigo,
on.
Here was out there, we was running.
Turn your TV off. Just
Right.
turn it off.
Right.
So they get the
I've
most
seen-
ignorant person.
You know
Right.
what?
Mic in
I
front
have
of
started learning that things that kill your brain cells, just remove yourself from it. Don't read it. Don't watch it. Don't listen to
And
it.
I'm doing good.
I've
been
been
out of
doing
Facebook
good.
jail for over a month now.
What?
And I still been cursing people out.
A world's record.
Man.
I've been out. I done did a record. Well, I cursed the guy. He reported two of my comments the other day, but Facebook didn't put me in jail. So knock on wood on that. So
They're kind of treating you like Otis now. They're giving you
yeah.
the key.
yeah,
Then you just lock yourself in.
Yeah, they're gonna just
They
let
treat
him
him
hang
like
himself.
Pretty much.
yeah. So
That's just Otis.
that's
That-
yeah. Like the creepy uncle that stay in the back room, you know, come out with the shoes with the big dress socks on when the party was shorts on and stuff, you know. But anywho, so
Wanted to see if Michelle made it. Y'all seen
what happened, Michelle?
you see Michelle?
Wait.
I buy a whole
Is he
project.
reverting back? Is Dave reverting back with the who?
Not that Al.
What?
Anyway.
What? Huh? What?
Yeah, we hear you.
So when we talk about how soon we forget, black people, we don't need to forget. Do you understand what I'm saying? We can sit around here and I always say this, you know, we can like Malcolm used to say, you can wash their brats and rock their brats to sleep, but you'll never be equal to them.
But the big issue is if you have been displaced and put to the side by majority, and one person or a majority says, okay, we're going to let one of you Negroes have millions of dollars. Usually that one person says, you know what? I made it. I'm going to assimilate myself with the majorities because I've been extended this
privilege.
Right. And so I work for it. So instead of saying, nah, I'm going to turn it down because I see others that look like me. I'm going to be me. I'm going to be flashy. I'm going to go get the Rolex. I'm going to go get the Bentley. I'm going to go get the big house. I'm going to live on a high hall because Massa said I'm on his level.
Mr. Charlie say. Yeah.
So I'm going to go and start doing things. Hey, I got the watch. I got the shoes. I got the house. Get like me.
Right.
When you just got like Massa, because Massa said, here you go, boy.
I'm going to give you a little bit.
Here you go, boy.
Give you a taste.
Here you go, boy.
Mr. Charlie, good white folk, boy.
Don't blame Mr. Charlie. Mr. Charlie's just a man. He's doing the best that he can. Yeah, better right for you.
Why
did
I open that one up? Open it right up. Mr. Charlie said. But see, and that's my point. You know, we're a nation of immigrants, and one thing I can't, and this is why I was in Facebook jail, is one thing I can't stand see another immigrant down another immigrant.
Right.
Because this notion, and again, when we talk about New York being dog-eat-dog, this whole country has been dog-eat-dog.
Okay, so what happened to us being a melting pot? When I was a kid, we were called a melting pot, and it was a good thing that you could come to America and you could make a life for yourself and your family.
Because the melting pot at that time, the people that were coming in were not brown.
Okay.
Right.
They weren't brown.
Right.
Now that we have this influx of people that are colored people, we got to protect it.
Well, and understand this when we talk about the melting pot. The reason, and see, let's just talk about the truth about the melting pot. When Ellis Island was opened up, the government wanted to limit the number of people from certain countries, even in Europe. The only country they really didn't want to limit in Europe was they wanted Europe that was purely from Caucasus roots was Ireland.
You know what happened when Native Americans took the same stance that our president is doing now?
What happened?
They died.
Slaughtered.
Yeah.
Put on reservations.
That's what it was. Yeah.
This is our country.
Right.
You can't come over here. Okay. Pop, 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 pop.
Right.
Death and disease.
Then after that, we took it.
Right.
Then we said,
why we gotta
talk
about it? Let's just take it.
Now take it. Now we're gonna come up with this thing. What can we do to just have everybody to come over that looks like us? We are a land. This is a melting pot. Native Americans are on reservations. Like, shoot, no, we're not. No, we're not.
No, and that's what I'm saying. In Europe, when the earlier beginning part in the later the 19th, 20th centuries, when everybody was flocking into, they wanted to keep certain groups of Europeans out. They didn't care about Germany and England, and they wanted to keep those ones down from Southern Europe. The ones that might have had a little bit of interaction with them dark folks. They didn't want them in too much.
Okay, but 45 even made a comment. Why don't we have more people from like Switzerland? The Aryan people coming into the country.
Close to the Asian borders. Them people that were kind of close to the African border. They really didn't want them. The only people they really didn't care too much. It was Northern Europe, was the Irish, because the Irish at the time looked at the dregs. They would look at the dregs of the Caucasian. But the thing about it was now, and let's just talk about how everything is connected. Now we've waged so many wars in brown countries. People from brown countries are now coming over here as refugees. Now we want to limit them.
But we are part of the cause and the reason
part of the
why.
Cause of that. For the last 60 years, with CIA interaction in Middle Eastern countries, in African countries, now all these people from color now are coming over there. Europe, to a large degree, is stabilized and now is dealing with its own quote-unquote issues with immigration. But the reason why, and everybody would ask, well, okay, if you got a problem with people coming over there, why are people coming to Europe and America? I wonder what these two different geographical areas had to do with why people are influxing there. Can we talk about the early colonization of the late 19th and early 20th century and why people fled to these countries and these lands? So when people come up here, oh, now remember, and here goes, well, we got to find out. Please, the only thing I ever heard about Bahamas before I traveled there was who let the dogs out. Who let the dogs out? Who?
Yeah.
So my question is why all of a sudden now, oh, we got to go and check. There might be Negro, please. They come.
But the thing is, there's gangs in every country. There are thugs in every country.
Man,
there are people that sell drugs in every country. There are all these things are not just prevalent in brown countries. They're everywhere.
The Republican Party is a gang,
right? And then when you look at
the Aryan Nation,
and then when you look at the people that have the money in these other states, they're like mob members and all that kind of stuff. So my thing is, don't try to make your crime better than my crime.
Right.
It's still a crime.
Still a crime.
It's still a crime. And it doesn't matter what the crime was. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. You committed a crime, plain and simple. And don't act like just brown people commit crimes or are just bad people.
They nice about it. See, no.
Well, but look, this is the type of nonsense coming from a guy who will sit around here now, pass a law about 6 people dying on vaping, but then gun control, can't do nothing about that.
Oh, don't forget about opiates,
Yeah.
Opiates and vaping.
Opiates. Now all of a sudden, it affects white folk.
But I remember back in the 80s when the crack was going on in the 90s.
I don't know what's wrong with y'all. I'm going to try and join the Trump campaign. Man, he love us some black
Well,
folk.
go on, John.
I mean, but how many, okay, raccoons, this is for you, if you listen.
They're not.
How much more do you need to hear at this point? I mean, I'm just saying, you got the raccoons coming out here, they just love their massa. But how much more do you need to hear?
It was a post on Facebook by Jimmy Hinton, and he was talking about how good Trump had been to us as black people. Jimmy Hinton. I was his frat brothers was like going in like, dude, you wrong. Y'all need to go back and look at that post, because I was shocked. I was like, okay, Jimmy, come on now.
No, because I know what that's about. That's about the First Step Act, because he thinks it applies to him. And of course, when you look, I don't want to get into that, because anytime you're gonna sit around and talk about Bahamians and you still sitting on this coded white nationalist rhetoric, we can't have no conversation.
Y'all, they pass laws every year where they, like when Obama was in office, they did the crack reformation laws, stuff like that. Every president has did something with the laws. They'll change the name of it and make it sound different. But it's ultimately the same thing. Right. And unless they're doing a mass release of all these people that have been locked up for small amounts of marijuana and all that stuff.
Just releasing them, change the system.
Right. It doesn't make a difference. So when I see people getting off on that, I just kind of be like, oh, okay.
Look who clean. So another one with his head clean. Mr. Rob, he got a little 5 o'clock shadow.
I feel like you feeling a certain type of way about this law that's really not making that big of a difference.
All right. Well, thank you. On there, we're going to end it. I want to thank, of course, Mr. Downs Malone.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, sir.
Of course, Miss Black Beauty. I'm going to take these cats to lunch one of these weeks. And I want to thank you guys for joining us. We will see you again next Friday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Don't forget, if you can't stand the heat, stay out of Hell's Kitchen.
Tune in tonight for cocktails.
9 p.m. Cocktails. Cocks in your tails. But we will see you guys tonight. Bye-bye.